Hi, Eddie Troxler here. Another episode of Jazz Chat. Jazzchat.org. I try to get the videos uploaded. You can also go to my YouTube channel. I think it's under Eddy Troxler, Troxler. I guess I should check that, before I... So it's now, today's, I think it's, it's December 4th. I'm glad my computer has it posted. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I usually play a lot of Christmas songs and put them in the jazz realm. Some of them work better than others. So I was going to maybe go through some. This being FATV, we only use public domain songs, so a lot of them are out that I would normally do. When you play in restaurants and clubs, they're paying ASCAP and BMI so that we're allowed to perform, stuff that's copyrighted. So stuff like, Frosty the Snowman and Blue Christmas and Santa Claus Coming. Those ones are not public domain, even White Christmas. But some of the old ones, and it seems like, as I was researching, Christmas wasn't really such a big deal, like this celebration of retail. I'm part of that Sears catalog generation, the Wish book, so it the media kind of pushed it, the whole Santa Claus and the gift giving, but it was after, the 30s. I mean, Christmas was a big religious holiday before that, but it wasn't so much about the giving gifts, So anyway, we can jazz up some of the old ones, which are a lot of them are religious songs, or most of them are Christian, hymns to Christmas being a Christian holiday. But when I play gigs, I try to throw in a few Hanukkah tunes, just as a fairness. I don't know if that's, hopefully it's not offensive. Rather, hopefully it's not backfiring. So if you're Jewish and want to comment on that, feel free to. But I usually do the Hanukkah, or the dreidel song is quite easy. The Hanukkah, or sometimes you see it spelled Chanukah, O Chanukah. So those are pretty common. And if you are Jewish, please feel free to comment with suggestions. To keep it fair, because a lot of these public domain ones are from hymns, and you kind of redo them. Like, for example, Old Christmas Tree, Vince Guaraldi with the Charlie Brown, the Peanuts theme. The original Old Christmas Tree is a waltz, Old Tannenbaum, but Vince Guaraldi did it in 4/4 and did it in swing. So that's one thing you can do with that stuff. I'm going to do one I took that I've been doing a few times lately, and I'll post the lead sheet. I believe I got this lead sheet from, it's at the bottom. So he has a lot of free PDF lead sheets, and you can get them in a bunch of different keys most of the time. His name is Michael Kravchuk.com. So that's Kravchuk. And he has some really nice, they're in lead sheet format, or some are piano music. This one, the particular one that I'm looking at, is in lead sheet format. So I'm taking Oh Holy Night, and I was just noticing when I first picked it up that it's, this version's listed as 6/8. I've seen it listed as 12/8. So that's kind of what swing is, So you hear blues players. That's a 12/8 feel. So kind of you could do that with. So what I do, I've mentioned this before. I try to figure out a voicing for these chords to put that melody note up top. So then the D7. So all is, so the chords for this are, you're on the G. You could do that B open if you want. And then you're on a C. And you got all those notes. The notes on the B are just a B and a D. And then back to the G with the G up top. Does that make sense? The C, you have an E and a C. So then you just go through them all. The next chord, you're on to a B minor. If you know this song, listen to it a bunch of times. There's a bunch of really cool versions. Some really good vocalists. I'm not a vocalist, but it kind of sticks out in my mind from when I was a kid and remembering it from, going to church and stuff. So I have a B minor with an F sharp in the melody. So I can just do that B minor triad. And I loaded those triads. It's winter time, go out of tune really easy. Those triads into the onto the page, so I can use that B minor triad with the F sharp in the melody. It's just the first inversion or the root position, B D, and that puts that note. And my next note is a D, so it's right there. Then it goes to an E, which you just let your first finger off. And then you went on an F sharp with an F sharp in the melody. Yeah. And then you have that low B. So I might just hit the root there and then play that, because really I have an open D. I don't think I need that F sharp because I just played it, you know what I mean? Then I'm back to that D with a D in the melody. I'm using this, a lot of you probably know it as a C7 shape. I'm just moving it up to here. And when you use that shape, you have that bass line you can always create, root fifth. Then back to the G. And then we're on to the fall on my knees part. If you know the words to this song, so I can do an E minor. The melody's on a G, and it's an E minor chord, which is I'm using this triad. You probably know it from like a D minor shape, just moved up 2 frets, and I can play my open E root. But yeah, like I say, this is available in a bunch of different keys. I chose G. It's kind of a guitar-friendly key. I think maybe this would be a hard song for me to sing to begin with, but maybe it would be doable in this key by a decent singer, or probably more of a male voice, I would say. Because the very highest note, when it goes really high. That's the very highest note of the piece, is that D. So anyway, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out a way to play those chords and put the melody in the top of the chord, the highest note of the chord. And then you're going that. I really can't sing it. On my knees. And then we have an A minor with an A in the melody. I'm just going to flatten that. And see, I can play those roots too with the open strings. Like I did on the E minor, I have a, open root. And then I go then here. And then, the E is already right there. The E minor. And then I have a G. I could use that D shape way up here, but a lot of times I'll just play the two outside ones. Because it doesn't, for some reason, that to my ear, that it clashes just a little bit. I kind of like that better. And back to that. Then a D triad on the fifth fret. Put the A in the first finger. That's 9, and then you're going up to the really high part. If you do this, G is calling for a G chord, a G triad on the 10th fret. So root position, G B, and then it goes to a C after that. Yeah, and then a C in the chord. Then the G. I would set it up, with do like an intro of the. You could do that for an intro. When in doubt, just the last 4 usually works pretty good. So I'll play through it one time, then maybe we'll put some, bass and drums in there, and if you're playing it with the whole band. So maybe I should do the intro, huh? So yeah, Oh Holy Night, and that was a rough draft, more or less. And you can see how it was 6/8. You can think of that as I'm feeling it in 2. It's 2 groups of 3. 12/8s, 4 groups of 3. People say, oh, it's a 12/8 feel. Oh, it's a shuffle. That's what they mean. Is that time? That's a 12/8 feel. And this, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me try it with some backing tracks, and you can see if you were to play it with a full band. I think I have it on about 3 times through, so maybe a little soloing. We'll see how it goes. I believe I have a 4-bar intro on this one. Do I? Yeah, I do. I actually it would be an 8-bar intro because I'm counting this, as a 2 feel. So, and really, music in general, you just, I tell my students, you gotta find that groove. It doesn't matter if how you're analyzing it. You really gotta, just lock into whatever else is going on with the people you're playing with, and that's what grabs your audience. But it does take, for me anyway, it takes lots of work. It's I still work at it, but I love doing it. So it's but it's not something that for me, I didn't hear it one time. Oh, I got this. So keep at it. You can always contact me. Free intro lesson online or in person. Always. Or if you have questions about any of it, you can email me. You can get the email off of that jazzchat.org. Yeah, FATV would thank them for letting me use their studios. And there is going to be a Christmas show here on Tuesday night. This particular podcast is pre-recorded, so if you watch it before next Tuesday, which will be, today's the 4th, that'll be, I think it's like the 9th or something. I can't remember, but whatever the Tuesday after the 4th. Today's Thursday the 4th, so Friday will be the 5th. Yeah, it'll be the 9th. I think. If I'm wrong, just cool. So let's try it with some backing tracks. Maybe I'll have time to do another holiday song because we're at like 17 minutes 34 seconds. All right, that was Oh Holy Night. And I forgot to mention, if you would like to be a guest on my show, give me a shout. For now, just in person at FATV. I think maybe at home I could do a remote interview, but it's kind of difficult, especially if you're playing with other people because of the slight latency. I still have a few minutes. I think I mentioned before a lot of times that I have an arrangement of Carol of the Bells, and I take it straight into Greensleeves, keeping the same rhythm. They're both in 3, so I take it straight into Greensleeves. And if you want to copy that, I think I posted Carol of the Bells on the Jazz Chat, the plain guitar arrangement. Greensleeves. So it's in 3 as well. It's the Greensleeves actually dates back to the 1500s, I think. I'm not sure. You can look it up. All right. So I'll do that, and then maybe I'll go over maybe an instruction of it at a later time. Maybe if we have time today. But basically, what I did, I'm just playing the one as written, the one that I wrote out and loaded down to the Jazz Chat that's in MuseScore under my name, and then the regular Greensleeves. I just I'm playing chords and melody at the same time for Greensleeve. So let's give that one a try with the tracks, I suppose, and then we'll discuss it next week if I don't have a guest. I do have some people lined up, but there's been a lot of stuff going around. People getting sick for a couple of weeks. All right, so Carol of the Bells and Greensleeves. 3 times through. I may have to cut it short. Well, we got 5 minutes. Yeah, we got it. Should be in there. It should make it. that was Carol of the Bells and Greensleeves all in one. I guess you could call it a medley of Christmas songs, or you could call it a melody too. I mean, there is a melody in there, a couple of melodies, but a medley, I guess, is a different word. Not an English major, but I do know a lot about music. If you ever want to, if you ever have questions, I'm 29 minutes and 35 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want, if you like the stuff, and I'll try to be back next week, hopefully with a guest, maybe another solo one, and I can teach you to play that song if you like it, or another Christmas song or something, or a holiday favorite. Thank you again.